Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but this is my next video. Today I'm going to review the book The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Faden? I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry if I said it wrong. This is the cover, at least the one that I have. This is going to be a movie that is coming out next month, so I'm assuming that a lot of people have started to read it or gotten interested in it, and obviously the same thing has happened to me. Because I didn't even hear about it until I seen the trailer, which was showed to me by my mom. So, here we are. I got the book, I read it. I finished it today. I have very mixed feelings about this book. I liked it. I liked some of the plot points and everything else. It was very intriguing. It made me want to keep reading. It only took me like maybe a week to read the whole book. But I also have a lot of problems with the book. I've never liked and disliked a book so much in my life, like the same book. It's crazy. So, I will tell you that this video contains spoilers, so if you don't want to know what happens, please click off of my video. I'm not trying to spoil, but it's really hard to explain what I do and don't like about it without actually telling you what happens. So, the story is about a woman named Wilhelmina, who goes by Millie, going and working at a house for a rich couple. And it gets intense and things happen, of course, because it's supposed to be like a thriller or suspense or something like that. So we spent a lot of the book in Millie's perspective, and I will tell you, probably an unpopular opinion, I actually don't like Millie's character. She spends a lot of time talking about how they have so much money that they don't know what to do with it, and yet she doesn't mind that they're giving her the money. But also, she sits there when Nina can't get pregnant later on, or when they're told she can't get pregnant later on, talking about how could money not fix that. Well, money can't fix everything. So, I don't know. Some of the things that she's saying are just crazy to me. Also, she seems like she's going around in the book fawning over Andrew, which of course that was supposed to be the whole gist of it, obviously. But it seems like she does it to an obsessed degree. It seems like she starts getting obsessed with him. She talks about she thinks she's in love with him, but it seems like she's more or less obsessed with him rather than in love with him. Also, she seems like she thinks and she says that like Nina shouldn't have the money. What would she do to deserve this and everything else? But like it's okay for Andrew to have the money. It's just a little hypocritical for me in that aspect. Also, she's been around all these abusers her whole life, but she gets out of jail thinking that some guy's gonna sweep her off her feet, which is really unrealistic. Especially if you've been around abusers, you're not thinking that at all. But just my opinion. I know that when it's in her perspective, Nina's all crazy and being rude to her, and obviously it gets explained later on, and I did feel bad for her about that because she didn't do any of that stuff, and Nina seems crazy, but you could tell that something was going on. Not anything like the big reveal. I'm not even going to pretend to you guys that I knew what was happening. I did not, and I'm really bad at guessing everything, and anybody that knows me knows that. I'm terrible at crime shows, at murder mysteries, everything. I'm awful at it. So I won't pretend that I knew what was happening, but you could just tell that something else is going on. Like, Nina can't just be this whack, right? Personally, I did like Nina. After you found out everything, I've obviously felt so sorry for her. That's terrible. I also think that her and Enzo should have ended up together. The way that it was written seemed like they were just going to be connected, and I believe that he should have went with her, and I think that that would have been great, because after this 8-year marriage where she was abused basically non-stop, I feel like it would have been nice for the author to write in for her to have somebody that she knew 100% that she could trust. So it would have been really cool for me, or in my opinion, however you want to take it, if she would have ended up with Enzo instead of her putting Millie and Enzo together. The book is, like I said, about Millie going to work for a rich couple. She starts seeing that like Nina, which is the woman, the wife, she starts seeing that she's acting crazy, talking about that she did some stuff when she never did it, or that telling her like to pick up Cecilia when she's like, why in the world would I have ever told you to pick up Cecilia? So Millie goes through all this, and then she starts developing feelings for the husband, Andrew. And then she constantly talks about how Nina doesn't deserve him and he's so great. And then her and Andrew have an affair together, and then he kicks Nina out the house. It's way more than that, obviously. There is way more depth to the book than just that description. But that's the overall gist of it. I don't know. It was really good, and it did make me want to keep reading. I wanted to know what was happening. I think that the author did an amazing job of not openly telling you what was going on, and it was really hard to guess, no matter if somebody's going to sit there and say that the husband is the obvious choice and the obvious abuser. But it's still really hard to guess, because he seemed like a really nice guy, and Nina was acting real crazy to Millie. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some parts that I was like, no way, I don't believe that. Like when the woman at the tap dancing class told Millie that Nina was locked up in a psychiatric ward for trying to kill Cecilia and herself, like that, I didn't believe. And I was trying to get to the bottom of that because I didn't know what to believe, but I didn't think she tried to kill the girl. It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't make any sense, especially when you're reading it. Like, Nina loved her daughter. You could see it, whether she was acting crazy or not. So that was something I didn't believe, but like other than that, I would have never deduced anything. I would have never thought that Andrew was the one that was doing the torturing. Everything that he did to Nina was terrible. The thing that he did to Millie, it was really bad. And then of course what she did to him was terrible as well, but I guess it was justified. So yeah, that's my view. I am really excited to go see the movie though. I love Amanda Seyfried, by the way. She's one of my favorite actresses. She's amazing. And I'm so sorry if I said her name wrong, her last name. But I'm kind of glad that she's in the position of Millie, sorry. I'm sorry, I get their names mixed up so much. Anyways, I'm so glad that she's going to play Nina, because I actually did like Nina way more than I liked Millie, and I don't really like Millie's character. Like I said, I know that that's probably a super unpopular opinion, but it's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I am more than thankful and appreciative of anybody that watches my videos, and I hope that you just listen. Like, I'm not telling you how to feel, and I don't want anybody to take anything like that. I'm just sharing my opinion with you, and I want you to have your own opinion, which is why I tell you that if you haven't read it, you should go read it, and then you should say your opinion. You don't have to have mine, but I like sharing my opinion, and I actually have really fun doing these videos. So if you like, first time I'm going to say it, please like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. I have so much fun doing this, and I'm glad that anybody that watches my videos, I'm super appreciative, and I am so thankful. Literally from the bottom of my heart, I thank you guys so much. But I do want to point out that even though I have an opinion, doesn't mean you have to agree with me. Like, I don't like Millie, but somebody else could like Millie, and I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. It's your opinion. I'm telling you 100%. If I listen to other people's opinion, I wouldn't like anything that I like. So, you like what you like. It's your opinion. I'm just sharing mine with you. Thank you for watching, and I do recommend you going to read this book, especially if you're kind of like into thrillers or into like mysteries, because even though it's not a full-on mystery, it's still like a mystery of what is going on. Why is Nina acting so crazy? If you're a fan of any of that stuff, I do feel like you should read it. And like I said, the movie's coming out next month. Maybe you should watch the trailer, see what you think. The trailer is really good at not giving away any of this stuff, and I'm so sorry that I had to spoil all of this to give you my review, but it was really hard not to tell you what happened in the book without telling you what happened in the book. So I couldn't sit here and be like, yeah, this is what I think, and you guys wouldn't know what I was talking about if I didn't say they're spoilers, because it's one heck of a big spoiler. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!